Coming to the rights of data principles now, we've seen what the persons or the corporations who are collecting data, they are accountable, they are answerable to data principles. What in turn does data principle get, and how empowered he feels today as a citizen of the country? The data principle has clear rights, like right to access, right to correction, erasure of personal data, which also has to some extent the right to call for say withdrawal of his consent, right to grievance redressal, right to nominate. So if they want to nominate their entire account, maybe like they can actually pass it on to their next legal heir or a successor. And this right we have not seen earlier bills had, but this particular law has this clear provision. And this may be notice and consent form, for example. They have to be very clearly made out by any organization which wants to comply with the law now. They will have a clear template for notice and consent requirement, which has to comply with the DPDP rules and the act. And also the act imposes certain duties on them, so it's not only rights. So just to have a fair balance, even data principles owe a duty to be fair, to be honest, and not to impersonate any other individuals, and not register any false complaints or frivolous complaints, and furnish only clear correct data. That's a basic obligation which any data principle owes. So that's something which is very very ingrained also in the act. Coming to the other key provisions, just want to highlight certain very, very interesting aspects, like, what are the, for example, transfer of personal data. Now, that act allows, the transfer of this data outside India, except to those countries which will be specified and restricted by the central government. Further, the Act also has other provisions for other laws which can influence international data transfer. So, the other laws which may apply in tandem will also continue to apply as long as there's no conflict of provisions. In case of conflict, only the PDP Act applies. Right to nominate, I've already discussed. And apart from that, the legitimate uses. So, if consent is necessary, I said, but where it is not necessary. In certain situations where, for example, there is a voluntary disclosure of data by principal, there's a reasonable expectation, by data principal that this will remain confidential. But if there is a need, for example, law requires this to be there, so that needs to be called out as a clear provision where this is possible, like in cases of emergency. Law requires that this or the public interest requires that data principles details need to be shared for his own benefit. Compliance with any judgment or any law, threat to public health, where there is a need to ensure safety in case of a disaster like a flood or otherwise, that data can be processed even without consent for legitimate use, of course. So these are certain cases where you know there is a legitimate use per se, and you can see that that is in the interest of the individual also, that this is processed without the need to have a consent requirement. In such cases, it may not be even possible. Now, exemptions. Coming to the exemptions, which are very important even from the government point of view, since we are addressing officials also from IT. If we look at exemptions, processing for enforcement of any legal right or claim, processing for performance of any judicial, quasi-judicial functions by the Indian tribunal or court, processing in interest of prevention, detection, investigation, or prosecution of any offense, and processing of personal data, where the principles are outside the territory of India. If there is any contract which one has entered into with any person outside the territory of India, but the processing happens by a person based in India. But let me clarify here, if it is a citizen's data, say EU citizen's data, now processing of this data principle, any user may be outside the territory of India, maybe based on a contract, and it is done by a person outside India, for a person outside India, but by a person based in India. So the vendor is based in India. Now, if it is EU citizen data, the GDPR will still apply to us. So that's very interesting aspect, which we also see in many cases. But if it is Indian citizens' data and is being processed outside India, then it will definitely ask for compliance of this law, the DPTP law. Processing necessary for a merger or amalgamation or similar arrangement approved by court, even those cases, exemptions apply. So, in such an these scenarios, which are very clearly given, the exemptions are given from the applicable provisions of the act, collection as well as processing. So here we have to see, if we fall in the exemptions, then so from certain key provisions of the act, they may be completely exempted. For example, if there is a necessity to process a particular data of individuals for investigation of a crime or a prosecution, again, it is something which is per se necessary and required by law. So, therefore, these exemptions have been given under the law. What happens in case of a breach? So, if it's false information given by an individual, for example, up to 10,000 Indian rupees, there is a penalty, goes up to 200 crores in case there is no notice given in case of a personal data breach, and up to 200 crores in case additional obligations on significant data fiduciaries are also not, for example, adhered to. But in case of children also, if there is non-observance of additional obligation in relation to children, up to 200 crores, 250 crores for non-compliance of provisions by data fiduciaries. In case of some significant data fiduciaries, there's also a penalty of up to 150 crores and up to 50 crores for provisions which are not specified, in the DPDP Act, but there's been a breach. So there have been lot of different escalations and I would say scales. Like we have scales in Indian GDPR. There we see that the earlier bill proposed different penalties. It was up to 15 crores also it was there, but now, I would see the current the way the strict penalties have surfaced. It's almost at parameter with the GDPR, which even has punishments of up to 4% of global turnover, and that's quite a lot. 20 million, US, I would say euros. That's huge amounts. Those kind of penalties have also been seen in the GDPR. And coming to the exemptions to the government, just one more slide on the same, because we have certain exempted activities, which government departments, which are dealing with personal sensitive, I wouldn't say sensitive, but personal data of individuals will be exempted from those kind of activities. Will not need a consent or a processing for the processing of that data. For example, where the processing of data is happening, where the government entities are doing so in the interest of security of the state and public order, or the processing is for research, archival, or statistical purposes. So we have, say, advised government departments here as well, where there is a lot of public data, for example, collected, and that's personal data. When it comes to archival, research, or statistical purposes, there are a lot of cases where, for example, an individual may withdraw consent. In that scenario, if it is anonymized data, that can continue to be held for research, archival, or statistical purposes. But government departments where they particularly deal with interest and security of state and public order, then even if it is not anonymized in some respect, that can be justifiable, because that is the legitimate exemption which is given to the government under the law. So here we have to see the ground and then see whether that government department, the kind of data it is dealing in, and the kind of activity it is dealing in, and for what reason this exemption, is it applicable or not applicable as per the act, falling under various categories of what what is the reason for usage of that data. Is it in the interest of security of the state, for example, prevention of say any kind of attacks on the state, or prosecution, or even for law enforcement, or requirements by law. So those kind of aspects, which are serious aspects, and they have been given as a culled out exemption under the act.